Hey, what's up, traders? To watch this video for Thursday, November 21st. Just a reminder, next week is Thanksgiving. And so it's going to be, low volume week. Half a day Friday, Thursday, obviously the market's closed, and Wednesday is probably going to be pretty dead. But every once in a while in that scenario, you get low float mania. So we'll see. And we are going to do a Wednesday afternoon mentoring session for course takers. But I think there's maybe going to be some alcohol involved as we go into the holidays on Wednesday afternoon. Anyway, could be fun. So showing you the SPY real quick. Gap down, sold off a little bit, but recovered pretty nicely. I made a video today, but a lot of people don't watch my videos on Twitter. Don't even know I do them, just to make a little short video with my phone. So I thought I would share a trade that I called today because I think it's such a cool example of what I look for when I'm stalking a intraday reversal. So I noticed John Deere, DE, was getting intraday shape. I'm showing you the daily right now. Let me throw a line on this chart real quick, and this is going to just take a second. So I just wanted to show you here. You see the resistance right at the whole number divisible by 10, which is more of a whole number or has more of an effect than any whole number, right? Look at that. Look how Disney, I keep saying, but they both start with a D. Look how John Deere has a relationship with that line, with that 70 area. I mean, spiked up through it, but closed below it. Then look there, another touch, another touch. So it was strong resistance for months. And then there again, and then finally breaks through, right? Gets all the way to 180. Now today on an intraday basis, and I'll show you the 5-minute setup, it's getting downside shape. And here I just copied this straight from what I posted in chat. So I'm gonna slide this, maybe I'm not, try that again. I'll slide this up here. This is a series, and they're time stamped, right? A series of posts I put in the chat room. At 1:20 and 43 seconds, I started talking about John Deere. Deere under 170, interesting, because it was former resistance, could become support on an intraday basis. Now, all by itself, that's not that interesting, but it was getting downside intraday shape change, so that made it more interesting because it was extended in the short term, looking for that 170 flush. And I also said it had a clean 5 setup, and the SPY was bouncing, and it was hitting the 50-day. That green line is actually a 60-period moving average, but let's see, I can slide this small version of the daily chart I have right there. That orange line right there is the 50-day. So you had a few reasons to take this, right? 70 was relevant anyway. Now look at what happened on 5-minute basis, and I'll zoom in a little bit. So look at this thing. It just starts to get that real downside shape. I looked at the daily chart and said, oh, this is interesting under 170. So that's why I shared it in chat. The 5-minute buy setup entry was right there. Some people may have nibbled on this actually under 170. And look at that nice $2 bounce. And it gave a pretty darn narrow range. If you took it like back up through 170 or you took the 5-minute buy setup, I don't know. I can't remember what the risk was, but it wasn't much. Maybe 30 cents or something. You got a $2 move. So that was pretty cool. Wanted to share that. Now I'm going to go right into the watch list. Anytime I have a super clean setup that I called, I do like to kind of show them in these videos because that's a great example of a few things converging for a possible snapback bounce. All right. All right. So Capstone CPST had this pop, and then really it's kind of starting to curl back up. I'm not in love with it because it only traded barely over 100,000 today, but do want to watch it. NTLA had this pop yesterday, quiet inside day today, so I'm going to watch that one. FSLY, this big pop back here. Now it's worked its way back up over that 22 area. I'll tell you, watch this thing trade. It is pretty whippy, so I don't love this one, but certainly might get some follow through now that it's trying to break through 22. Uber, I think, had news in after hours. A big insider purchase, I think. And it didn't go up that much on that news. It closed out after hours at 28.38, but you do have this kind of island down here, and it's starting to leak to the upside on a little extra volume. So maybe Uber's bottom. I'm going to look for a follow-through day there tomorrow. ISEE, former high flyer, and it wasn't that long ago. We've had maybe a couple of weeks where it did nothing, and then today. Now keep in mind, this is a big move. 3 to, man, I don't have my cursor window. It's driving me crazy. I always have that thing up. There it is. I was missing that. That tells me all the prices and everything. So it's done nothing for a couple weeks. Anyway, today, 298 to 355. That's a pretty good move, right? So I want to, this goes back on my radar. And it did come down close to the 20-day, flushed the whole number 3, and then a very strong move back up. So that one goes back on my radar. LUNA had this pop back here, straight sideways around 650, and then a nice pop today again, topped out at exactly 7. You know we love whole number inflection points, so if this gets through 7 tomorrow, hopefully a big seller on the tape or something, you have another high not very far above at 720 that could act as another potential catalyst. So I do like that setup. KZIA got most of its volume near the end of the day, just went nuts. 320 something to over 950 before settling in at 740. That's a crazy move, and you can see how thin it actually trades. All that volume came in near the end of the day, but let's put it on our radar, but I want to be real careful with that one. I would probably make the same argument for NBSE, but a nice volume spike and a pretty good move, 496 to 671 on an intraday basis before settling in at 632. I think that's another candidate that might give a nice red to green or something. FuelCell is still flagging. I could tell my story about FuelCell today. Maybe I will real quick. For those of you that weren't in chat, I tried to grab it on a gap down bounce play setup right there and got a partial fill. I was trying to get 10,000 shares. I got 9,200 and something. So like I have 700 and something outstanding and it starts drawing. So I reach over to, I move my mouse over to just kill the rest, right? Just kill my whatever 700 something shares I was bidding on. But I had 9,000 something. Instead of killing the rest of the order, I accidentally sold it all. So I think I made $28 because it was only like right about here. And all I wanted to do was kill that outstanding order. I've made a lot of stupid mistakes like that lately. And as you can see, could have had over 900 bucks just in that trade alone without just making an error by clicking the wrong button. But anyway, having said all that, FuelCell still kind of has this, 4-month cup and handle. And I like the fact that it rebounded so nicely today. So for me, it's still flagging right here. So I do want to watch it, but I missed a great entry today, or I ruined a great entry today. HEPA, nothing interesting about the daily chart, but in after hours, just had a nice sounding headline and ended up closing around 390. So gapping up to here. Now I would point out, this is one of those that almost every gap up, look here, slap down. This one ran, slap down, gap up, slap down, same thing here. So this is one of those. So that gives me extra pause on whether or not I'm going to trade it, but we'll see if it gives a setup. And then lastly, I'm going to put QD on watch as a potential bounce play. Straight down for a few days in a row, nearing some nice support back here from, about a year ago. But it's definitely come into some support. And that's it. We're going to add some gappers to this list in the pre-market. Teamwork's been great. Let's keep it going. We'll see you in chat tomorrow.